Just butt ass naked. Sorry, my bad.
Got a lot of questions, man. Everybody, I'm pleased to bring to you trainer extraordinaire Rick Ramos, undisputed welterweight champion. Somewhere in the background of the house, Jessica Mccaskill. How y'all doing?
Good. What up? What's going on?
I seen a back and forth between Jessica and Cecilia, and one thing I wanted to ask y'all, the both of y'all, is it personal now?
I mean, it's not personal for me. I think, I respect Abel and I respect Cecilia, but, I do think, she's a bit of a brat. She doesn't have experience with losing. So I think she's kind of like, her reactions are always like, well, the people, well, my promoters, well, this person, well, that person says I didn't lose, so she always talks about what everyone else says. She doesn't really give her opinion about what's going on. Switch spots. Mm-hmm. So it's not personal for me. You know me for a while now. So like, I try to make the fights. I try to sell more tickets. I think I do a pretty good job. And, that's all it is. It's not personal for me. Hold on. Let me just answer that.
Is it personal? Is it personal for you now, based on the conversation that you had with her, the things that y'all said to each other? Was it business before, and is it personal now?
No, it's all business. I don't even know that girl, so I can't even be like, I don't, I think she's a bad person. I just don't think she's a good role model for boxing. I think the way she handled that loss is pretty terrible, and I wouldn't want my fighters looking up to her, with that kind of an attitude and with that kind of like, just like pointing fingers kind of drive,
Well, that's what I want to get to. Do you think that she's like trying to, I guess, make excuses for the loss, that she's trying to find a way to blame it on something?
Yeah, she was trying to blame it on the pandemic. Like, the whole world wasn't in the pandemic with her. You know what I'm saying? If she's going to blame anybody, she should blame Abel, or she should blame Tom Loeffler, because they left her alone in the cabin, like they said, for 8 months. Right. I mean, who's responsible? I would never leave Jessica alone. For a week, I would have my amateur fighters come up, stay with her, keep her busy. I think that's their responsibility. If she should point the fingers in her own camp, not nowhere else.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, do you expect to get the same Cecilia that you got before, or have y'all planned around something different? Because basically, my understanding of what she's saying is that because she was up there at Big Bear for so long, I guess what she's saying is it affected her performance. That was my interpretation. I don't really know what to make of it. I'm thinking like, okay, so you was up there for 8 months. That means you should have came out sharp then, don't it? Because you was.
Yeah.
So are you expecting something different, or are you just like, nah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
I'm expecting a lot of elbows, a lot of holding, a lot of pushing, a lot of grabbing my head, that kind of thing. A lot of complaining, excuses. I mean, I don't expect anything different from her as a fighter. I do expect for her will to be broken a lot sooner. I expect her to quit on her stool or not get up from the canvas. I feel like, the loss is now her excuse. And, mentally, she's just broken down and nobody's really there to pick her back up. I mean,
yeah, here's the thing, too, Julius. Like, there's like, there's a relationship here. We're tight, Jess and I. She doesn't have that with anyone on her team. Like, her strength and conditioning coach is some random. Like, Abel is just a hired coach. So there isn't, it's not Abel's fault. It's not even really her fault, but she should try to build something, some camaraderie. She should build something. I feel like she doesn't have anyone to lean on, like even Katie Taylor is close with Ross. So like there's connections there, but I don't think there's connections between, and there's no disrespect to what I'm saying about that. It's just, sometimes you just want to coach and you don't want to be friends. So
I do agree with you, because I feel like she had more of a rapport with Banks because they had a long time together, her and Banks.
Yeah.
Whereas with Abel, she hired him. I remember she hired him just before the pandemic hit. So I'm like, I don't even know what their relationship is. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're like cool out, because y'all cool. I know that. Yeah. Y'all been rocking with each other for years.
Yeah.
And Abel, I'm like, I don't know if it's the same situation there. Not that it matters, because that's not an excuse. Ultimately, Abel's not going to fight the fight for her. You know what I mean? So it really doesn't even matter. Did you guys make any adjustments in the way you prepared for this fight as opposed to the way you prepared for the first fight?
Yeah, I feel like every time that we have a new fight, a new challenge, things get a lot tougher the next training camp. We add things, you know, we work specifically on sharpening everything. So we've been doing 10 rounds nonstop, like Monday through Friday, whether it's sparring or whether it's mitts. We just have been doing a lot of work, working on precision, working on punch placement, even punch count. I mean, he clicks for everything. Every punch.
I'm clicking in between rounds, but to make it more clear, like instead we used to do 3-minute rounds. We used to do like 10 3-minute rounds of sparring, and I'm like, you know what? We got to shorten up the pace. We got to be more accurate. So now Jessica barely hit the heavy bag in the last 10 weeks. We would do 10 rounds of mitts 4 days a week, and then the other 3 days we would spar. We're in the gym 7 days a week, so it's a lot. Instead of 8 3-minute rounds, we would go 12, 13 2-minute rounds, and we would compact everything and make it real nice and short, so she understood, that 15 seconds away from the 2 minutes, we got to pick it up. You know what I mean? So I think Jessica will be more accurate, cleaner punches. She's gonna sit on her punches a lot more this time, and we ain't backing up. So
are you guys going for? I gotta ask, as a boxer fan, are you going for the knockout?
I feel like if the opportunity arises, I'm definitely going to take it. But I'm smarter.
Just give him the real answer because he already knows.
She give me the PC answer. When he presents himself, I might do that.
Like we ain't tight. Like all three of us ain't cool. You can tell. Junior,
yeah, I'm looking to knock her out. I'm looking to end her career. I want this to be a retirement party and a fight all wrapped up in one. I want to get her out of there. She ain't going to be able to even make excuses. They just going to carry her out and be like, you're done.
Just, honestly, like to me, and this might sound a little disrespectful, but it's really not. It's the truth in my opinion. Like people like her have been like fed spoon like opponents and image and like the whole nine. And now that there's real fighters in the street, think about it. Kaylee Reese and Jessica were the two toughest girls of late that she fought, and they both came at her. She got dropped, she got beat. I don't think that Abel Sanchez is the right coach, and that's no offense to Abel. There's no offense to Abel, because now at this point of her career, she's older. She should be sharpening her boxing and moving. But like Triple G, he was tired. He's getting old. He doesn't want to fight anymore, so you got to hire a boxing coach, not a fight coach. So I think this is the wrong coach for her. I think this is the wrong time for her, and I think Jessica's definitely the wrong opponent, and it's the wrong weight, 145.
Yeah. Now that being said, I heard something that I believe you said, Rick, and you, Jessica, that you guys don't feel that you're getting enough credit as far as, and not just limited to this fight with Cecilia that you won, but the totality of it, given what y'all came from, that you only got like what, 11 fights total, but look at what you did with the fights that you have.
Yeah. But let me make one thing very, very clear for everybody watching, because I always get this question. Jessica does financially very well. So we're not saying we don't get paid. That's not what we're saying. Like those other girls complain, well, stop taking $8,000 fights. Stop taking $15,000 fights. It's your fault. Jessica, and you could say it if you want, but she gets paid very well for these fights. Obviously we're in 6-figure range always and blah, 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 blah. But I don't feel like they started this thing off as a 4-person tournament. Amanda Serrano fell out. And then I think they brought in Pursoon. And then now they're not talking about the tournament anymore. And now they're talking about, well, Katie might fight Clarissa, or she might go to fight Tasha Jonas, or she might fight Amanda. So it's like, what are we doing? Why is it when we win, shit changes? And I don't think they ever think we're going to win. And I guess I mean like the boxing public, maybe Matchroom a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, when I got the belt, the WBC belt at the last fight, Cecilia's name was on it.
Already.
And I'm like, they're like, here you go. And I'm like, what is this?
It was a new belt.
Brand new belt.
I'm going to say this. Your victory over Cecilia, and I tended to agree with the statement when I heard it that you guys aren't getting the credit for it, because the upset should be on the level of Ruiz Joshua. You got to understand, you guys had every reason to lose that fight and you didn't.
100%.
That's what makes it big. You had every reason. She was one fight away from breaking Joe Louis's record. Undefeated, champion for many, many years, undisputed. There was every reason for things to go sideways, and it didn't. So when I read the comment that Jessica and Rick are not getting the credit that they deserve, I agree, because it's like, well, yeah, like, dog, that's a bigger win than anybody got. anywhere. Like,
who said
it.
that? Who do you remember who said that comment?
I think it was you, Rick, that you felt that you felt that Jessica wasn't getting the credit that she deserved.
Eddie repeated it. Eddie Hearn repeated it in one of his videos on Matchroom on Instagram or Twitter, and he had said, "Hey, I know you and Rick don't feel like you deserve, that you're not getting credit." I went nuts. Like, I sent Matchroom an email, like, "Yo, man, like we didn't get our WBA belt for 6 months. Like, what the fuck is going on?" You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I pay, we pay the sanctioning fees. I want my belt. I don't want to wait 6 months. So it's like all these sanctioned bodies. Think about it. They post one time. The WBA posted one time about this fight, maybe twice. So it's like I want the sanctioning bodies to start promoting the fights, or I don't want to pay the sanctioning fees.
No, and I agree with you. If they're gonna come in for y'all blood and y'all sweat and y'all tears, so that y'all could just show up, oh well, we gonna get our cut. All right, you need to promote this fight then. You need to. You got a website and all of that. You got an Instagram. You got a Twitter. You got a whole website, a domain name. Yo, you need to promote the fight, because if you're gonna take our bread, then you need to be doing something. You need to be contributing something aside from the sanctioning fee.
Oh, they show up with patches.
Well, I was just about to say that.
They show up with patches, like, you gotta wear a patch. I'm like, yo, you gotta give me my belt. I want to walk out of here with the belt. What the, it's just infuriating, because I feel like everybody's lazy. I feel like everybody's old. And I'm always talking like shit. Everyone thinks I'm talking shit. This is facts. Like, everybody's old in the boxing game. The judges, the fucking referees, they're 95 years old. Like,
that's true.
We need fresh bodies in here. And I keep saying it, and everybody looks at me like Rick's always complaining.
No.
Yeah,
I get people in the comments that they don't know the conversations that we have, right? They don't even know about it. And I'm like, yo, Rick is right, bro. Look at Robert Byrd and look at what happened. God bless Robert Byrd.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the Glavaki versus Maris Breeders fight. He didn't even know that the bell rung. They were still hitting after the bell because he didn't know that the bell rung.
8th round or whatever.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I can go on, and I don't want to really bash that many people, but it's the truth. It's infuriating because and I think a lot of people behind the scenes, you're not going to hear it on social media, but like here, judges, referees, promoters, and managers are like, yo, Rick, what you're saying is right. Well, that's good that you guys say that and agree with me. I need you to do it on social media, because when you send me a fucking inbox, or when you tell me in the cafeteria here, it doesn't do me any good.
It doesn't do shit. It doesn't change anything.
I mean, what the fuck? What is everybody afraid of? Like, at the end of the day, like, you can all hate me, but if I bring the product, then everyone's gonna love me until the product is no good no more. I understand how it works. I'm not afraid to speak about it, and everybody's like afraid.
Yeah.
I agree. It needs reform, and I think that especially the bit about the sanctioning bodies, because I'm like, yo, dog, all y'all doing is coming over here. My son about to come into the frame. All y'all doing is coming over here and charging the fighters for their blood, for their sweat, for their tears. How much actual promoting? What are you actually contributing to the fight? Because if you're going to go as far as charging people money out of their purse that they had to bust their ass to get, you need to be doing something. You need to be doing more. Because the truth is, Jessica don't need, and this is just me, feel free to disagree, Jessica don't need the WBA, for example, to fight Cecilia Breaker. She can fight her without the WBA. You do realize that. If she feels like, hey, I don't need y'all, like, what if I don't pay y'all? Remember what Canelo did to the WBC? That y'all keep playing with me, and I'm going to drop this goddamn belt, so y'all need to stop playing with me. And they stopped playing with him. Like, yo, stop playing with me, bro. All right? Because I'm going to get this money anyway. That's what you gotta understand.
It should be like a flat fee, right? Because the belts that they buy is a flat fee. They're paying what, $600, $500 for that belt?
Exactly, and they charge y'all a percentage. So whatever your purse is, they get a percentage. Big or small, they get a percentage.
Crazy, and it should be flat rate. Each fighter pays $2,000. There you go, and you still make money instead.
That's part of the reason that I think that when Erika Farias, before you fought Erika, right? She had a fight with Ana Laura Estete. She was the only other champion at the weight at the time. And what I noticed is none of the belts were on the line. Erika's WBC wasn't on the line. None of Anna's belts were on the line. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's what they decided to do, that to not pay the sanctioning fees. That got to be it, because if they pay the sanctioning fees, then their purses is going to be smaller. So in order to make it worth their while, now we're not going to pay y'all. We ain't going. This is not a sanctioned fight, bro. We just want to duke it out real quick, right? All right, feel me? So
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, which is why I give you a lot of credit, because technically, if you go by that, you beat 2 undisputed champions. Really, just all you got to do. I tell no lies. Go back and look. They fought. She busted Anna's ass. Anna was the only champion at 140 at the time besides Erica. She been beat her. The only difference is that the prestige wasn't there because the belts weren't there. But if you tack on Erica and Cecilia, that's 2 undisputed champions you beat. Really, it should be. Somebody asked me the other day if Jessica Mccaskill is in the top 3 pound for pound conversation, and I said, yeah. That's just because y'all don't know, don't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Erica was number 1 at 140 pounds. That's facts. Cecilia was number 1 at 147. That's facts. Now you show me who else out there besides Clarissa, right? Besides Clarissa and besides Katie, who else is doing that?
Right.
I don't see none of these other, not the number 1, not the uno. Nah.
A lot of people don't know we took that Erica fight with like 2-week notice, not like maybe 10-day notice. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. Like, we did a lot of stuff. And by the way, I have to say this, like, you know, me getting the Katie Taylor fight, like, that was us who got the Katie Taylor fight. Me trying to get the Cecilia fight, that was me who got the Cecilia Breakhouse fight. Like, I feel like I'm simple for promoters. Oscar, hit me up. Like, fucking, you know, Eddie, you already know what I can do. Like, Oscar De La Hoya, hit me up. Top Rank, Bob Arum, call me, because I feel like I can make these fights too. You know what I mean? I need a platform and I need some capital. That's it. And I think I got some good ideas. And a lot of people, every time I brought an idea to Eddie, he's like, let's do it. Zero resistance.
Put it this way too. It's that, and it's also that what's not being talked about is that everybody acts like they knew what was going to happen in the fight. Jessica took a risk. Y'all took a risk, bro. Y'all could have sat there 140.
And I don't think you know this, but that was our last fight with Eddie. I don't think that was even a bigger risk.
Well, y'all played your hand very well. That's what I'm gonna say. Y'all played your hand very well.
Yeah.
Beyond this fight, if you win, I have to say if, because I'm not presumptuous. I'm a little superstitious. If you win, beyond Cecilia, what are you looking at, and what do you want?
You want me to answer?
Yeah. Go.
I want I want Katie Taylor. I want a million plus. We beat Cecilia. We'll have 5 belts. Technically, the ring belt won't be up, but I think the ring belt of the Ring magazine will make an exception if Jessica fought Katie, because they're both undisputed in different weight classes. I think they put the belt up for that. That would be 6 world titles. They're gonna want on 6 world titles against Katie. They're gonna want like 143, let's say. They're gonna have to pay for that. They're gonna want no rematch clause. They're gonna have to pay for that. So there's a couple other things that I'm not gonna talk about publicly that I'm going to drop on them once they start coming in here under $1 million, when I'm going to say this, that, and the other, because they're going to be like, fuck, we didn't even think about that. And I already thought about it. So I already have this thing figured out. But Katie Taylor, Jessica Mccaskill too. The first time both female fighters get $1 million plus, and I think it will give hope to the female game, and I think it will sell a lot. I think it'll be great for female boxing, and I think it will be competitive. Jessica's a completely different fighter, and I just think that it's a big fight for female boxing. I think it's the biggest fight out there. Nobody wants to see, even if we lost to Cecilia, who the fuck wants to see Cecilia fight Katie? I don't even want to see that. I mean, think about it.
Right, bro.
No, think about it. Think about this. Katie Taylor and Cecilia, they have 0 personality. Who the fuck wants to see that?
Look. After y'all beat Cecilia, right? If you go to the comments of the video that I did after that, right? Yo, I had wild people saying, yo, Jessica beat her at 42. People want to see it, in other words, is what I'm saying. People want to see it like, yo, 142, 143, Jessica beat her, da-da-da-da. So there's real talk. There's real excitement. Whereas with Cecilia, it was a little bit lukewarm when people thought that was going to be the pecking order. It was lukewarm, like, oh, she'll fight Cecilia, and that's cool.
Well, you know why they wanted Cecilia, right?
Porque está viejita.
She's beatable. Like, we already beat her. You know what I'm saying? So, like, whoever you guys want Katie to fight, we'll fight first. Because obviously they ain't gonna feed Katie to an old dog. So they're just gonna be like, you know what I mean? So
I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna agree with that. I'm not gonna agree with that because on the other end, you know, I love y'all. You know, I love Katie. Like, you know that I love Katie.
Yeah, I like Katie too. I think.
Lo que me molesta, what bothers me is that Katie took on Delphine, right? And I always come back to that because it bothers me. Delphine was champion for years, bro, through a lot of fighters. And wasn't nobody at 135, 130, just the girls that moved up. Wasn't nobody, and these people had belts. They were established. And wasn't nobody trying to sneeze in that girl's direction. So that when Katie fights her, they're gonna like no le dan el crédito. They don't give her the credit for that fight. That I'm like, yo, win or lose, draw or otherwise, she had a fight with somebody that nobody wanted to fight. That's the same credit that I give to you. That I'm like, yo, win or lose, however you feel. She went from 135 to 140 to 147 to fight somebody that don't nobody think she could beat. That by itself deserves the credit. So when I look at Katie and I hear Delphine's name brought up, I'm like, yo, look, I don't give a shit how you scored the fight. There were people that were here that didn't want nothing to do with this woman.
I agree. I'm not. I always give credit the respect. Katie Taylor the respect. I'm just saying, as far as her personality, she has zero. But everything else, I mean, she deserves the respect. No, I'm serious. She's like a hard sell. I mean, because if she let's just say we lost, whatever, she's gonna fight Cecilia. Like, what the press conference is gonna be like? It's gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If we beat Cecilia and we get the Katie Taylor fight, I'm fucking gonna get crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get crazy. I'm telling you.
He's gonna be like, stop talking. I'm a lord. Lord Brahma here.
I'm telling you.
You know he's a lord, right?
He's a lord, like a for real lord.
In real life, he's a lord.
In Scotland, it's a whole other story. But don't worry about
Stop lying.
For like $800, you could be a lord too out there.
Yo, listen, man, I got 3,000-4,000 in the bank right now. Shit, I'll be a lord.
You could be a lord twice.
Sir of Julius. I'm the Earl of Grey.
Lord Julius. There you go.
Earl of Grey.
No,
I wanted to ask y'all about some things that we've been seeing, right? Some things that we've all been seeing in the media. Did you guys watch that Nunez fight? And what do you guys think about boxers that attempt to cross over into mixed martial arts? Just what's your feeling about that?
That was a really quick fight, right? That was just the highlight, like that one highlight, like that was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I saw it. Yes.
This is what I think. I think Clarissa's not in MMA until she's in MMA. Cyborg ain't boxing until she actually is boxing. So let's just stop talking about it. Like, I don't even want to like bring our fans over to them, and I don't want
not even specific to her, right? Specific to her. I always ask whenever I get the chance, just what's your feeling about boxers crossing over and mixed martial artists that cross over? Just what's your feeling?
I think it depends who it is. You know, I think if you get like Holly Holmes to double dip, or if you get like Cyborg to fight Jess, I think Cyborg versus Jess, a lot of people would tune in for that. I agree. And
I think Cyborg could make 147. I think she could.
Yeah, I mean
that's a legitimate opportunity.
Katie Taylor versus Holly Holmes. I think people would tune in.
I agree.
I don't know. I think those are certain matchups you can make, and there's certain other matchups you just got to stay away from. You know.
So you believe that crossing over and being successful in crossing over is specific to the fighter, to
100%. Everything is specific to the fighter. Your pay, your credibility, your marketability, everything is to the fighter. I think you said something about that before. Like people, like everyone's talking about, like females are talking about equal pay, equal to who? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, Katie Taylor should be making Canelo money? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, equal to who? Like that's like Eddie Hearn said it best, and I agree with him, and it's not just because he worked with us, but like it just depends on the fighter. You can tell me any fighter, give out a name, and I tell you my opinion about.
It's the truth. Like, look, I love Chocolatito and Estrada, the card that's happening this weekend that y'all gonna be on. I love those two guys, right? And if it was up to me, they'd get a certain amount of money. But I know that there's other guys that are not as accomplished as they are that are getting more money than they are. That's the way it is. Yeah. So from where I'm sitting, equal pay doesn't actually exist in boxing because all the men don't get paid all the same way.
Yeah.
All the women don't get paid all the same way. It's specific to the fighter. I would love for those guys to get $5 million for a unification match. They deserve it. I feel they deserve it.
I agree with
you. That's not the way the business works.
No.
So, ahí está.
I agree.
So beyond that, I've got to pick your brain. Who do you guys think is going to win Ball versus Courtney 2?
Who?
I like her answers though, like she in her own world.
Bro, I don't know. Like people will bring up names of people, and it's like I'm
like,
such an old head boxer. Like I watch, old like Winky Wright and like De La Hoya and Trinidad, Fernando. Like I watch a lot of old fights. Camacho, like that's like the stuff that I look at. I really don't look at these new age guys. No offense to them, and it's nothing about them, but I feel like there's such a classicness in some of the old stuff and a lot of things that I can still learn because I'm still learning to be a boxer. I came into this game brawling, and he changed me over into be a boxer, and I see a lot of really smart moves in boxing and ring IQ from the older guys. And you know, every once in a while you see some really good stuff from the new guys where like the kid that was backing up and threw the left hook and knocked old boy out, like you see him. It was I know I think
Valdez. She talking about Valdez.
yeah,
Valdez
and you
going
see
backwards
them,
and he hit him with a loop and left. I was like, yo.
and they practice that, and you see them practicing, and you see those things. So I'm not and honestly, like I go to bed at 8:30. These fights be on late. I gotta go to bed. Right?
You ain't saying shit. Like I'm old, dog. At 7 o'clock, my body starts to go, it's time for bed, bro.
Y'all be up doing podcasts, and he'd be like, "Yo, let's shoot tonight." I'd be like, "Okay, let's shoot. Let's set up the lights. Let's go."
Real rap, because I'm like, yo, I'm like 40 don't like listen, man. 38 don't feel like 28, bro. 7 o'clock, get here, that sun goes down. I'm like, yo, time to go sleep, bro. Unless the fight is good. Like, it's a lot of fights that I want to cover them, but I'll miss them because, yo, it's late, bro. I'm tired. I got kids, bro. 38, bro. Pushing 40, bro.
But you're doing awesome. You're covering a lot of shit, man. Your show is skyrocketing. I remember seeing you progress the whole time. It's pretty awesome. Actually, Jessica was your first Zoom interview, wasn't it? Wasn't she? I was trying to hype you up.
Y'all the first one that gave me an opportunity. That's why I hold y'all in a different regard than ever, because y'all gave me my first opportunity. I didn't know nothing about interviewing people, and initially it was not my intention to interview people. It's just that at that time, if I go to Fight Hype or if I go to the boxing channels that's big, yo, they literally don't be talking about the girls, bro. So these are the channels that I go to for news about the guys. I go to Boxing Scene for news about the guys. My goal is not to like, oh, I'm just the guy that covers all the girls. My goal is to make it normal for other people to cover girls. And like low key is starting to happen. So I'm very happy about that. Like women's boxing news, shout out to them. They're doing a lot of good interviews too. And that's just the goal. Make it normal for us to cover these fights because the powers that be, for whatever reason, they ain't want to do it. And that's retarded, bro. Like stop talking to me about fucking the same people, bro. Loma, Lopez, Wilder.
Right? Same conversations.
It's the same people.
It's like barbershop talk, like over and over and over again.
You know, that brings a good point. You know, we were talking about, you know, like you were working with the girls to build the channel and then eventually move on to the guys, whatever. Like when I hear like an all-female fight card, I don't think that's a good idea. And
I agree with you.
I think it actually hurts women. I think they need to get in. There should be a 1 or 2 female fights on every show. Getting all girls is not a good idea. And it's just because what's going to happen is the purses are dramatically lower. And I know everybody's trying to do this all-female show thing. Listen to what I'm telling you. Those purses are going to be low. And I hate to, I'm not trying to squash anybody's fucking party, but I already know.
If you separate the girl from the guys, it becomes a novelty act. That's 100%. What it becomes. Boxing, all right? Boxing is boxing. You have a girl on a good guy. You have girls. If it was up to me, you have one girl on every single card that happens. One girl on every single card. Why? You get maximum exposure. Absolutely. I've had a lot of conversations with people about different fighters that headline cards versus fighters that don't headline cards, but they're on big shows. Those fighters that maybe don't headline a card, they're still on a big show. So they get the exposure, even if they didn't headline a card.
Right,
so,
and I told Jess I would love for Jessica to be on a Canelo undercard. Fuck, you know, that'd be huge.
That's what I'm saying. If you on a Canelo undercard, you know you're going to get seen. Even 100%. If you ain't got to be a headliner, you know you're going to get seen, and that's the point. We need more eyes on the sport.
I mean, think about it. They had fucking Mark Castro. Mark Castro, listen, you ain't ready to be a 4-rounder. I got amateurs in my gym that will whoop your ass. Like, he should have been a 4-round co-main event for Canelo. Come on. You know listen, shout out to Matchroom, but Mark Castro, I wasn't feeling him. And I got a kid in the gym, Josh Hernandez, will whoop his ass right now. So
listen, man. Listen, man, we ain't gonna do that, man. We ain't gonna be shitting on these fighters over here, man. We're gonna be nice to Mark.
I'm just saying, like that could have been Jessica. That could have been Amanda Serrano. That could have been Katie.
Agree with that.
That's all I'm saying. Like, that could have been Clarissa. I don't give a fuck. There should have been one of the 4 horsemen, and I think one of those 4 girls I mentioned should have been the co-main event instead of Mark Castro. That's what I think.
No. I agree with that because
Mark Castro should have been the swing bout for that girl fight. That's it.
Lou DiBella has a all girl, and I'm gonna buy it. Bear in mind, I don't even have UFC Fight Pass, but for the love of the sport, I'm gonna have to get it because Heather's gonna be on there. Heather Hardy's gonna be on there. Melissa St. Bill is gonna be on there. But I saw, to our point that we're making, that it's an all girl card, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm gonna buy it just like I bought Clarissa's card. I'm gonna buy that too. But it's like, it's to Rick's point. You limit the size of the purse. There's only so much they're gonna make from the show. You gotta just don't separate the girls from the guys. It's all boxing. Just put them together. Like if you know that, like if I know Jessica's a pressure fighter and I know she come for the action, all right, then that's how we gonna build this card. It's gonna be all pressure fighters on this motherfucker, guys, girls. But a lot of people gonna get hit with a lot of punches because it's about the entertainment. It's not about the ideals. It's literally about the entertainment value. Like I know if Jessica's gonna fight, that ain't gonna be no chess match. Somebody gonna get punched in their face. Yeah. All right, so that's how I'm gonna make the card. Instead of let's make an all-girl card. Why, bro? This is not a novelty, man.
I think it was cool, like when it first started popping, but no, I think it's a mistake. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not a Hall of Fame promoter, but I don't like it. But I will buy it because I like Lou DiBella. And like I even Jessica, I even bought Clarissa's fight because at the end of the day, I still need Clarissa to succeed because she might be in our deck of cards at some point. I need her to be successful. So
yeah, look, I looked at the card and this is just me as a consumer because if you watch boxing in 2021, you got to spend money. I don't steal none of this shit, all right? You got to spend money. If you want the sport to be healthy, then stop stealing shit, all right?
Yeah, I don't watch Periscope at all for those.
You know what I'm saying? Anything that I'm talking about, I got to buy it. That's my way of giving back because if the sport is suffering, guess what? People like me can't make money if the sport is suffering. I can't. So you got to. You know what I mean? So I bought the card and I'm like, see, the problem with the card, I love Marlene and all of them. They all good. I love it. Jamie Mitchell. It was some girl on there named Jamie Mitchell. She looked dope as shit. She looked like a wrecking machine, right? Yeah. But you can't do it that way, bro, because that's not like you making it like a novelty or something. Like, oh, come look at these girls. No, come look at these fights, bro. It's fights, right? So just build fights, bro. Don't make it, oh, this is the girl joint with the girls on it. It's like, come on, bro, don't do that. You limiting their opportunities doing that.
Well, yeah, and it doesn't make sense. Like the WBC got away with the female belt, right? Well, and then you guys are gonna have female shows. It's like there's a whole
point was
to get everybody together,
integrate it.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
It's confused. Sometimes they can be confusing about what they want, and they don't really follow through with it, and they change it up, and it's like, I don't know what y'all trying to do, so I just got to do my own thing.
I'm not going to get y'all in no trouble with the shit I be saying about the WBC because I know y'all fighters, y'all got to maintain y'all network relationships. I dig it. I don't have a lot of nice things to say about the WBC. I do not want y'all to get in trouble for that. So
the WBC has been nice to us, but
they're great. Aren't they great?
Yeah. They're so great. They're so great.
They're great, like really great. That being said, I don't want to get y'all in no shit. So let's just say, because I like to cover all the different scenarios that are possibilities. Katie Taylor is a possibility of rematch if you win. What is another possibility that you're also receptive to?
I mean, we talked about the whole Clarissa Shields thing, and I think a lot of people that we've had conversations about, they do this like in and out kind of like double dutch thing. Like, you know, they just playing around with it. You know, with the first time we mentioned Clarissa Shields, you know, we mentioned her because she has great stature in boxing. We're not trying to go after, you know, a pro debut type person. We're trying to build the sport, you know? And so first time we talked about her, she's like, I'm not moving down in weight and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's like those numbers start hitting and it's like, I think she needs to be where that money reside, which is fighting me. Go ahead.
If Jessica beats Cecilia this weekend, who else you could fight? Savannah Marshall. I know you don't want that heat, so you'd rather fight the smaller person. You know, I mean, let's be honest. You don't want it. She don't really want that heat with Savannah Marshall. You leave that girl alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it started off with like not interested, and then now she's talking trash, and so it's like, okay, she's interested, and it's like, I don't know if she can even make the weight, honestly. So it's like, you know, it could be, it could not be.
It could also. There's other things too. Like there's a scenario, right? Like in my head, like I think, like let's say we win. Katie's fucking around, whatever.
you know, if like someone like Hannah Rankin has a belt at 154, I'll move Jess to 152. We could beat Hannah Rankin tomorrow.
Listen,
3 different weight classes. Let's go
in
get it.
South Africa. She's fighting in South Africa, and I think
Right?
it's a
I saw
welterweight
that.
contest.
I watch all you girls. So all you girls who are watching, I watch all you motherfuckers. So what I'm saying is, Hannah Rankin wins. If she got a belt at 154, maybe we sneaked over there at 154. You know, I think Jessica could beat Hannah Rankin. We get that belt, 3 division weight class world champion. We go back to 54 and 47. We can go fight Katie. So there's other opportunities too. We go back to 140. We could do a call. We could do a lot of stuff, and I hope that Katie honors her word, and I hope that everybody from Matchroom honors their word. If we beat Cecilia, we want Katie. I mean, how is it that she gets to choose? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have all the belts.
I'm gonna say it looks like, because I got a lot of people feeding me a lot of intel. I don't know how true any of this is. I always take everything I'm given with a grain of salt.
Yeah, bring it. I'll tell the truth.
What I'm being told that is a possibility for Katie, while you guys are taking care of Cecilia for the second time, what I'm being told is that Katie may fight Natasha. So hypothetically speaking, if she fights Natasha, beats Natasha, it would make sense that, all right, Jessica's next. Because I don't really see anything else that makes sense. Like, yeah, you could go to 40 and fight, you know, like the girls that's at 40, but they ain't undisputed. If you fight Jessica, you get all of that. One fell swoop.
Yeah, I ain't trying to have nobody Mayweather me and like sit me out like my name Pacquiao. It's like we're gonna do it now. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna just wait around forever. You know, because we, like I said, like he said, we got other plans. We'll skip over you and go to the next thing because we got work to do.
I have 2 other fighters at 147, possibly 3 fighters. I might sign another girl at 147. So we'll see what happens. You know, I might have 4 girls at 147. We might vacate. I might have all the belts. They might get all title shots. We'll see. You know, you got that Caitlyn girl could fight Summer for a belt.
That's what I was going to talk about. That I know Summer's at 47. Summer just knocked that girl head off. I saw the fight. She knocked that girl head off, man.
Shout out to that girl. It was a last minute replacement. She came through as a favor, but
still, whoever that girl was, she got hurt, dog. She got hit with a left hook to the body, left hook to the face, and went down.
Here, I'll tell you what. Why have you? I'll tell you what. If Clarissa Shields gonna do MMA, she could fight Summer. Summer's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. She fight judo. She's a state wrestling champion. Summer will fuck Clarissa up in MMA. Destroy her. Do that. Let's do that fight. MMA. Let's go. We'll do that fight.
I wanted to ask you about Caitlyn, though. I wanted to ask you about Caitlyn and Summer, and just has there been any kind of dialogue at all with Caitlyn's people to see about maybe making that fight?
Yeah, I mean, I think they just like talking shit, and they're using me to like pump her name up, but that's fine. I want the girl Caitlyn to win. I like rivalry, so I want Caitlyn to do well. Her coach seems like a really nice guy. He had nothing but good things to say. He knows that I'm slick. He knows that I can make a fight and aggravate everybody over in Ireland. But I also think like that's a good fight. And if Katie fights Jessica, we can put that on the undercard and then watch both Irish girls get beat up. You know what I'm saying? That's like that is.
I'm not gonna make it out of Ireland if y'all do that. You know that. Make it to the airport.
But at the end of the day, like it's my team against Katie. It's against Ireland, Katie and Caitlyn. You know what I'm saying? And tell me those aren't 2 good fights.
No. I know because I've seen Summer. I've seen Summer, and I've seen like that fight in and of itself. As a boxing fan, this is gonna sound weird, but as a boxing fan, part of me don't want him to fight yet because it's so early. I know that'll be a big ass. I know that'll be a big ass fight because Summer has the like I see it though. Like she could fight. She don't look like somebody that only has 2 fights. She don't. She looks like she got like 5 fights or something.
Summer's been. You got to remember, Summer only got like 18 fights, and they were all out of town. I think 2 were in Chicago, and the rest were all tournaments. And she won everything. She won everything in judo, everything in jiu-jitsu. Obviously, that's not the same as boxing, but her combat experience is very high. I think she's probably one of the most underrated fighters out there. Oscar, hit me up. Eddie, hit me up. Let's go. If Jessica wins against Cecilia Saturday, I think someone should sign Summer like immediately.
No, yeah, I agree, and that's what I want to see more in America because a lot of the time that I'm talking about the fighters that actually have deals, well, they're European fighters. We got a whole flock of fucking girls over here that could fight, like they really good, but for whatever reason in America, they just is, and it's hard to watch because it's polarizing. It's really polarizing. It's night and day between the girls in Europe and the girls here in America. I could name you like 10 girls off the top of my head that I think like, yo, they world class. And
so why do you think that is? I want to hear your answer, and then I'll answer.
I'm gonna say honestly, and I know that I'm probably gonna get heat from a lot of the I'm probably gonna get heat from my own subscribers, but I think it's sexism.
Good.
I grew up with two sisters
you
that
think so?
fight. You understand that? Like I grew up with two sisters that fight. So when I heard that women box, that's not like a novelty. That sound normal to me. Like, yeah, I'm from Harlem, bro. That's normal,
Right?
bro. Like I'm from Harlem. Like
Right.
everybody fight, bro. Like that's normal. Whereas
Right.
other people hear that and it's like, oh, girls fighting. I don't want like where you live at, bro? Suburb. Like I don't understand and I don't judge. I'll just say that to me it was never a novelty because to me that's normal, bro. If I'm in Harlem or if I'm in Washington Heights or if I'm in Dykeman, yeah, you're gonna see two bros duking it out outside. That's normal, bro.
Right. That's why I don't like. I train Jess. I train all my girls like dudes. Everyone's like, oh, you still have. Jessica didn't inspire any chicks for this camp. It was all guys. Yeah, train her like a dude. Everybody's equal. It's all fight equal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
I don't treat my girls different.
The reason I think that girls in America are having a much harder time promoting fights, getting signed, is because a lot of the men here, another thing, a lot of the guys in the States, I think, is kind of like weirdos. Like they think they gotta save the girls. Bro, the girl don't want to be saved by you, bro.
Nah.
She don't like legitimately, like just ask them. They don't want to be saved by you, bro.
Right. But it's the females, the United States female fighters. It's your responsibility to say no to these goofy fucking purses. You know, like I'll be honest with you. I probably shouldn't say this. Like we got offered a video game deal, 6 figures, and I turned it down because I think the number that they came in with was too low. So I was like, nope. Everybody else jumped. I didn't jump. I'm like, nope. You guys jumped on the first offer. Nope.
I did no. And not for nothing, not to get into figures, because I'm not gonna do that. But you guys, just like you said at the beginning of the interview, you guys is all right on your money shit. I'm assuming, right? Like your money shit is you're satisfied with your money shit. There's a lot of girls that I've talked to that are really not satisfied with their money shit. And it's like, yo, it's on you, man. Like you gotta decide. Like I'm not to criticize, it's not castigating, not condoning or condemning. It's just like, yo, dog, you do that. You gotta do that.
I think that the girls that we're speaking of is a group of girls that signed deals 5 years ago or longer. And I think at that time there was no female boxing though, so they would sign anything, and it's not really their fault, but it is their fault. Like they didn't know it was gonna blow up. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, and I'll be honest, I won't say names, but a couple female fighters, marquee female fighters, call me. Their people call me and be like, "Yo, Rick, can you like go over this?" Like, wow, Jessica paid off her college, bought a house, bought a car, redoing her basement, blah, 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 got Rolex. How the fuck is that possible? And I'm like, tell me what you signed. We go through it. I'm like, all right, well, that third party promoter act got you, or this, that, or the other got you. So
listen,
I was offered a deal. I was offered a deal.
What Jessica said about her skills outside of the ring. She said something that really caught me, and it's that, yo, she's not just a boxer, she's a banker. She took the skills that she has as a banker and applied it to her boxing, and that's a part of how y'all doing things over there. I'm like, see, that's what other folk don't got going on. They don't think outside the box. They're like, yo, dog, it's always a way to make money. Like, don't tell me about making no motherfucking money. Believe you me, I know how to make some money.
Right.
If you just letting people make decisions for you and you don't ask, it's the same as anything else. You cannot just let people make decisions for you. You have to get involved.
When this video game deal came about and it was 6 figures, I said, Jess, this is the deal. I asked for more. I didn't get it. This is the layout. Show Jessica. Jessica sees everything. The emails, the texts. She sees that. And there's no, if you don't see your contract, fire whoever's working for you. And remember, they're working for you. You ain't working for them. The fighters, everyone around you is working for you. You ain't working for them. Understand that. I work for Jessica. She don't work for me. And I'm the CEO of Jessica Mccaskill. I'm the CEO of Summerlin. And I'm a fucking CEO. So I'm the Mark Cuban of all this shit. And I want to make sure that my girls are always fed. They're always eating. They never have to worry about bills, nothing, zero. So with that said, like, I just feel like I told Jess, this is the deal. This is the number. They won't come off of it. Are you okay with getting zero? And she's like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I said, all right, bounce. We passed on it. That's it.
We don't do anything for money, like, or else we wouldn't be where we're at now. So
yo, I bring her up to everybody, bro, because you could tell that y'all don't move. And I ain't looking at y'all, but y'all be hearing me. I say it all the time. Yo, they ain't doing it for bread, because you got to look at how they move. They didn't have to fucking fight Erica. They didn't have to do that. That's a gamble. They didn't have to fight Erica. They didn't have to fight Anai. They They ain't had to fight Cecilia.
None of them.
You
Or
don't
Katie.
risk
We didn't
nothing.
even have to fight Katie. We didn't have to fight her either.
It's put it this way. The reason I see different types of people. I will not name names, but I see different types of people.
I'll name them.
Don't do it. Don't start no
I'm
shit.
kidding.
Don't start no shit. I see people and I see what their motivation was. When I saw Jessica, I saw somebody that she believes she can win that fight, and that is her motivation. She believes it. I look at other people and I ain't gonna say no names.
Right.
But I see other people, yo, you want the bread. You don't really want to beat her the way that Jessica wanted to be. Like, she felt she could beat her. You just want to get paid. These other folk, some of them, not all of them, some of them want to get paid to show up. And that's not, your heart is not in the right place, man.
Right, like I always tell
get
Jess,
that opportunity.
like I always tell Jess, like, if we lose, we go this route. If we win, we go this route. And all routes equal, we don't ever lose. Even if we lose, we don't ever lose. We lost to Katie Taylor. She bought a house and everybody was good. And next thing you know, we got a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn. So it's like,
and it's a proverb: nothing ventured, nothing gained.
100%.
You gotta risk something, bro. Anything worth having requires not just hard work. Yo, yeah, you gotta risk something. You gotta take a leap of faith, because what I see in y'all is y'all gained more, or y'all gained everything off of that loss to Katie. Y'all could have just been like, yo, you know what? We don't need to fight her right now. We're gonna play it safe and fight these girls with some losing records or something. We just gonna be safe. But if y'all had done that, y'all wouldn't be in a position undisputed welterweight champion of the fucking world.
And it's like,
take that away from you, dog.
Well, and this is how I didn't have to sell it to Jessica, but I told Jess, if you lose, who's gonna disrespect you for losing to Katie Taylor? No one. That's like, who's gonna disrespect you if you lose to Pacquiao? Nobody. Mayweather. Nobody. You know, whoever. Tyson Fury. No one's gonna disrespect you because you got your ass beat by him. You know what I mean? Those are marquee names. So, like, how I saw it is like, we can't lose. Even if we lose, as long as we fight hard and we show the public that we're world champion material, I think we'll get a call back, and we got a call back.
And as long as the fight is entertaining, because I remembered,
it was great.
I remembered the reaction to your fight with Katie, and a lot of motherfuckers, they liked the fight, dog, because she looked uncomfortable. That was the most uncomfortable they had ever seen her. So it's like, well, that was a good ass fight. Like, regardless of the outcome, because as a consumer, what people don't understand is we pay to be entertained. So if the fight was entertaining, win or lose, I'll say after the fight, yeah, Jessica might have lost or whatever, but I want to see her fight again because that's a good ass fight. Same with Eric Chisora, the dude over there in the UK. Yeah, he lost to Usyk, but I still want to see him fight Parker because I know it's going to be fun to watch. So if you don't risk nothing, and you protecting your record and all of that, yeah, you'll probably get by, but you're never gonna cross over to where you're making the kind of money you want to make, and you doing the shit that you gotta risk something.
Right. And you know what? And a lot of people who are afraid to risk, if they just jump and take the risk, they'd be shocked on what they can really do. You know, there's a lot of female fighters out there. I'm like, man, why don't that girl just fight everybody? She might get lucky, knock her out. Never know.
Yo, dog, I'm not going to name. It's a lot of fighters that I believe in, like the way I believed in you. Like, it's a lot of fighters that I believe in. They're like, yo, if you give them the opportunity, they'll fucking blow. But whoever the fuck is guiding they shit, that's the problem. I ain't saying no names.
No, I get it.
That's the problem. All right, because you have the ability. I fucking see it. You have the ability. You could do huge shit. Somebody holding you back. But I ain't say nobody name. I didn't say nobody name, right?
No, but it's so true. I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm pumped. I know Jess is pumped. I'm actually, we have to go do the photo shoot. I think we're gonna go see Abel and Cecilia now.
Don't start no pre-fight. Don't hit her. Don't hit Abel. Y'all be cool.
Weird,
save it for Saturday.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I like Abel Sanchez. I respect him totally. I just, whatever. When we compete, we compete. When we're not.
I like Abel because his eyebrows ain't the same color as his hair. His eyebrows still got color on them, but his hair is white on the side. That's some dope shit. He two-tone like George Clooney.
Yeah, that's natural. That's how it is naturally done like that.
All right, well, look, y'all, it's always a pleasure to talk to y'all. Best wishes on Saturday. Do your motherfucking thing. Whatever happens, always welcome here. Shout out to y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.